Do you think fixing a dead bedroom is just another goal? Think again. There are A, B, and C type goals, and the kind of filthy, dirty bedroom fun you truly crave with your current girl, that's a C type goal. Let's dive into how you can achieve what feels impossible. We're going live.
No. We'll do it live.
This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
What's up, everybody? We hit the 10 member mark yesterday, right before the members only live stream last night. This morning, look at this. Brother Nathan became a new member. And so we now have 11. I'm going to give Brother Nathan this because it is Woo Woo Wednesday. Magic. Yes, thank you for becoming a member, Brother Nathan. I see your super chat, and because you are also a beer club member, you get the $20 video, but we're going to wait till the 8-minute mark for that. Anyway, thanks everybody for your continued support. I really appreciate it. And if you didn't hear, I will be doing a free coaching call-in show on Tuesdays for YouTube channel members. And so if you're not a member, what are you waiting for, right? It's only 10 cents a day. You won't even miss it. But you'll get so much out of it, including a free audiobook version of the Book of Puck, narrated by my good friend Jack Napier, who's also a Rule Zero panelist. You'll find that once you become a member, if you go to the community page on my YouTube, you'll see a post that only members can see, and it's got a link to the audiobook for that, and it's free. So thank you, Jack, for giving that away to my members as well. And but you guys all came here for the woo-woo today, and I'm going to give it to you. Now, this episode will be on how to use the law of attraction to turn things around in your relationship and restore intimacy. But unlike last week, we are not going to be talking about crystals. Sorry, Brother Omega. That episode just didn't do numbers, man. We went way too chick-cracky with that one. Actually, if you guys go back and watch that episode, though, you'll find it's not as chick-cracky as you might think. Right? I try to keep our feet on the ground here, but today we're definitely going to keep our feet on the ground. I'm reading this book. I don't have it here. I'm reading a book called Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life by Bob Proctor. And by reading it, it looks like I'm actually physically reading it. It looks like he wrote this around the time of the pandemic, right before he passed away. And it's really good. It's a very short book. It's not too long. But he had a section under his chapter on, are you living someone else's paradigm? Called A, B, and C goals. And the way he broke them down got me thinking about how guys could apply this in their relationships, right? Especially if your relationships are on the rocks and maybe you're even living in a dead bedroom, right? But before we get into it, do be sure to like, subscribe, and hit those notifications. Right. I have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then now on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. for members only, we'll do a call-in show. So we only have 11 members now. So I didn't expect, a huge turnout for yesterday's call. And but all the members did end up tuning in. So that was cool. And we did have Brother David from the beer club. He hopped on in the beginning we just chatted about all sorts of stuff. And he was talking about, his relationship and how it's progressed since finding my podcast, since becoming a beer club member, since running what we call the map, and turning his relationship around. And he said, within a period of 6 months, his relationship is much better, right? So there's a lot of benefits here, guys. And then Brother Omega jumped on about halfway through, and he actually did have a question. It wasn't a dating or relationship. It was a career related question, but that's fine. You know, if you're a member and you have any kind of like life coaching question you want to call in for the call-in show on Tuesdays, become a member and let's talk about it. Okay. And then do send super chats. Okay. That does support the show probably more than anything else. And I know you guys have the money. Y'all are sending $500 super chats to these butter eating 304s out here. I'm not asking for that, but if you send a $10 super chat, you get the bouncing tatas video. And then if you guys send a $20 super chat, you guys get the bouncing or the jiggling booty video. And if you guys are Beer Club members and YouTube members, or Beer Club members and a Spotify subscriber, if you send any kind of super chat, you immediately get the $20 super chat video. Okay. Speaking of becoming a member, do consider becoming a member. It is only $2.99 a month, and these episodes will continue to be free for the first couple of weeks, but then after 2 weeks, they become membership only. So if you like to review older episodes, do become a member. You'll retain access to that. Plus, you get the Book of Pook audiobook for free, and then you get access to the Tuesday call-in shows. Okay, so let me just play a commercial for this, and then we'll get to the topic. Every single hour, men struggle in silence. Men who are facing rejection, confusion, and the pain of feeling lost in relationships. Thousands of men have found the support they needed, but for many others, help comes too late. Hi, I'm Paul Bauer. Will you be a supporter for men in need? Every day, men like you face challenges of dating, holding frame, and breaking free from nice guy syndrome. But you don't have to face these struggles alone. For just $2.99 a month, that's only 10 cents a day. You can join my YouTube membership or become a Spotify subscriber, and you can help keep this podcast alive. Your support ensures that I can continue to create content that helps men just like you. I can continue to help men overcome these challenges. By joining now, you're not just getting access to all older archived episodes. You're helping me keep this mission going. Together, we can reach more men who need help, guidance, and support. Right now, there's a man who needs you, and your membership says, I'm here to help. Please join today. Your support is making a difference. I'm just looking at some of these chats. This is funny. Brother Nathan hasn't been here in weeks. He says, Paul's changed up his t-shirt game. I have. And Nurse Chick loves it. she just, I started wearing a collared shirt on Rule Zero, and Nurse Chick immediately sends me a message. She's like, sir, where is that shirt, man? And then the next day, like I posted a video for TikTok, and she's like, that shirt does things to me. Like, it's working. It's working. Okay. And then let's see here. So Kamal says that he'll become a member if Nurse Chick will concede that he's my number one fan. And then Nathan says, Bish, please. David's his number one fan. And I would say, yeah, he probably is, because David not only is a YouTube, see, right? David's not only a YouTube member, he's also a Spotify subscriber and a Beer Club member. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, become a member, Kamal, and then maybe we'll see. We'll see if you're the number one fan or not. Anyway. So this chapter, let's get back to the topic. Jeez, Paul. So I broke this chapter down into the top 10 concepts. And so he talks about A, B, and C goals in this, right? So the first concept is goals are for growth, not getting. Goals are for growth, not getting. So he says that getting whatever it is that you want, getting is a byproduct of the goal itself. But he says the goals allow you to draw upon this marvelous power that's locked up inside you, right? So let's apply this to relationships. You could view restoring physical intimacy as a personal growth journey, right? Getting your girl to want to bang you again, that would be a good end state, right? But you need to look at it as the journey, right? not just an objective to achieve. So what you would want to do in this case is focus on being attractive, less unattractive, as we say in the red pill space. And you want to focus on that as a growth process. Okay. And what do I mean by be attractive? Don't be unattractive. Because people are like, what does that even mean? Okay. Be attractive is your physical appearance, right? Occasionally take off the graphic tees and wear a button down. But no, make sure that you're well groomed and stuff, like, make sure you go get regular haircuts. Make sure that if you have a beard that you try to keep it trimmed and stuff like that. And that sort of thing, your physical appearance, be attractive. Okay. Don't be a fat guy. Go to the gym, lose some weight. Almost every guy who's reached out to me. So I've been putting out these short form videos on restoring intimacy in your bedroom. And I'm telling guys, hey, drop the word DM in the comments so that I can reach out to you and you can tell me your story. Right. And a lot of those guys, they're overweight. It's like, bro, like when you first met your girl, did you look like this? Because most of us, what do? When we're single, we're hitting the gym, we're staying in shape, we're trying to be attractive so we can attract somebody, and then we get into relationships and we let ourselves go, right? I don't have to try anymore. I got this, girl. You got to get back to that. You got to be attractive, okay? And then don't be unattractive is your behavior, your demeanor. Are you being needy? Are you being clingy? Are you being overbearing? Are you being argumentative, right? Your girl comes home and you immediately get into an argument with her over what? What are you arguing with her about? You know what I mean? There's lots of unattractive behavior men do. We overtext, we call too much, we become needy little bitches. If we're in a relationship, we stop taking our girls out on dates. We start acting annoyed by everything she does, all that kind of stuff is your behavior, and that becomes unattractive over time. And then your girl stops putting out and you're like, what happened? I don't get it. Anyway. So you want to focus on being attractive, less unattractive as a growth process. Okay. The whole process of fixing a dead bedroom, it's about fixing you. It's not fixing your wife or your girlfriend. And most guys don't want to hear that. Most guys don't want to hear that. And we'll talk about that a little bit, but a lot of like guys get into the space and they get mad. They're like, oh, are you saying that men just have to do better? Men just have to do better, right? Is that what you're saying? This is bullshit. Whatever. We'll get into that. The next concept here, let me take a minute because Brother Kamal is now a new member. Oh my God. Look at this guy over here. Thank you so much, Kamal. Magic. Yes, you get the magic. We've got Brother David's in the house. I'm going to give a shout out to Brother David here. We say, Paul, that commercial reminds me of ASPs. Yeah, well, that's exactly what it was supposed to do. So I'm going to give you this one because you're a member.
I was just going to say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
Yeah, he definitely fucks. Let's see here. Brother Nathan is a member. He's also a Beer Club member, and he sent a $5 super chat saying, I'm back. So he gets the thing. Super chat will see you there. Shake your dance without a care. Send it love from everywhere. Groovy beats we all can share. Your support is so divine. Moving closer to the line. Thank you, you're the best. Party on, we never rest. Brother CW's in the house. Morning, gents. Where's my fellow Beer Club brothers? He was an early adopter of the YouTube membership. Magic. And let's see here. Nurse Chick is here. She says, not a Beer Club member, but a supporter nonetheless. Happy hump day, gentlemen. And she has her own thing.
I'm so naughty.
Yes, she is. Oh, let's see here. Oh, Brother Ed's in the house. He says, Pump and Hump Day, boys. No, it's Woo Woo Wednesday. Okay, yes, that's it. It's Pump and Hump Day. I'm going to give him this
I
one.
was just going to say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
Yeah, he definitely fucks. Oh, Omega's in the house too. Holy crap. Look at this. He gets, because he's a member too, I'm going to give him this one.
Respect the cock and tame the cunt.
Yeah. I think did I get everybody? Let's see here. I think I got it. I think I got all the members. All right, cool. All right. So the next concept is A-type goals. Okay. Now, A-type goals are things you already know how to do or know how certain things at least don't work, right? So in the book, Bob tells the story of a guy whose goal was that he wanted a new car, right? Bob was at he did a lot of public speaking. So he was at an event and he walked up to a guy in the audience. He says, "What's your goal?" And the guy goes, "I want a new car." And Bob goes, "What kind of car?" The guy goes, "A Pontiac." Bob goes, "What kind of car do you drive now?" And the guy goes, "A Pontiac." And Bob goes, "How many years ago did you buy this car?" And the guy goes, 4 years ago. And Bob goes, "So you're telling me that 4 years ago, you figured out how to buy a Pontiac?" He's like, "And then your new goal is to buy another Pontiac? You already know how to do it. You did it 4 years ago." Right? You already know how to do it. So if we want to apply this to relationships, if you've had intimacy before with your girl, recognize that simply repeating old actions that you've been doing recently might not be the solution, right? What did you do in the beginning? How did you get her? Right? So you don't want to fall back on routines that don't work. Instead, keep your mind open to new ideas that might get you better results, or at least ideas that you did in the beginning, you know? Because it's weird. Like a lot of us have this, we do act differently when we're dating versus when we're in a relationship. When we're dating, we're typically trying to be on our best behavior and we're trying to be attractive as possible to get the girl, right? But once we get her, then a lot of times what happens is we get sort of betatized over time. We put her up on a pedestal and then we spend our whole time just trying to placate her. You know what I mean? It's a different dynamic. Yeah, throw that out. that don't work, right? You got to go back to the beginning, right? So blue pill guys, they hate the red pill because their minds are closed to the possibility that this shit actually works, right? You've already tried the chore play, brother, right? You've already tried to be more emotionally vulnerable, okay? But you got your girl once, okay? What did you do when you first started dating? You know, at the beginning when the sex was enthusiastic, what were you doing differently? You're probably dating her. You're probably trying to actually seduce her more. You know, you probably were so infatuated and so in love with her that, you know, when she was cooking, you know, you were just like, oh, just walk up behind her and kiss her on the neck. You probably don't do that anymore. Whenever she would do something that you would find annoying now, back then you thought it was cute and adorable, you know, stuff like that. You got to sort of get your mind back to what worked. Let's see here. You want to avoid defaulting to surface level actions like giving gifts or compliments. You know, women look at that kind of stuff like bribes for sex. My cousin is a florist, and guys come in all the time because they screwed up, right? How many times have you guys bought flowers for your girl because you screwed up? And she'll usually asks, how bad, right? How bad did you screw up? And the worse they think they did, the bigger the arrangement she can sell them. And she knows it's all bullshit. She knows it's all bullshit, but guys believe this stuff, right? And the thing is, women know that sort of thing is empty. They know that if you did something and she's upset, she's using her emotions and you're being controlled by her emotions, you're trying whatever you can do to maintain that happy wife, happy life dynamic. She knows it's bullshit. She knows that you're just trying to placate her, right? She knows it's empty. That's one of the reasons why it doesn't work. Okay. Being a groveling little bitch and afraid of screwing up is being unattractive. So when I talk about focus on being attractive, less unattractive, worried that you're screwed up, that you did something wrong, right? Like she's the arbiter of what's right and wrong. You're being a groveling little bitch, and that's unattractive. She's losing respect for you when you do that. You understand? So this sort of thing you've already tried, it's not working. So you have to go back to the beginning. That you have to look at what worked, right? What attracted her in the first place? You understand? Does that make sense? Okay. Paul, I thought we were talking about woo-woo. We're getting there. We're getting to the woo-woo, guys. Hey guys, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. And get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com. I'll send you a bunch of free stuff, including a chapter of my existing book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. But if you didn't know, my new book is scheduled to release on September 14th. It's called Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence. It's the first book in RP Thor's new series based on his first book, A Dominant Masculine Presence. So a bunch of us in the manosphere, we're all working diligently to put books out in this series, and they're all based on Thor's original 7 skills of a dominant masculine presence in his first book, right? There's 7 P's. And so my book is on the P of psychology, and it's called Psychology Paradigm. All right. I haven't had a chance to make a commercial for it yet. So the closest thing I have is, hold on, let me make sure I have it right here. All right, just want to make sure it's this one. Sorry, apologize for the dead air there, but here we go. Overweight right now, and your whole family's overweight, and you often tell yourself, obesity runs in my family. That sort of belief is coming from your paradigm. It's coming from your subconscious mind. It's not that obesity runs in your family, it's that nobody runs in your family. But you justify it to yourself, and you make poor food choices. Instead of going out to go for a walk, you stay at home and binge watch shows on Netflix. And the reason why is because our paradigm controls our actions. And you may even want to lose weight, but every time you try, you fail. You fall back on that old programming. You end up going to McDonald's 5 times a week. You see, our subconscious programming, our paradigms control our actions, and our actions control our results in life. If you're not happy where you are, but you can't seem to get unstuck, it's because of your paradigm, and that can be reprogrammed. And I talk about it in my upcoming book, The Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence, Psychology Paradigm. Pre-order it now on Kindle for only 99 cents. Paperback and hardcover will be available on September 14th. Yeah. So the book, it's done. Been edited. Nurse Chick did the editing on it. And then, so yeah, the paperback hardcover will be available on the 14th, but you can pre-order the Kindle edition now for only 99 cents. So go to books.comeonmanpod.com. That'll take you to my Amazon authors page. You can also get my first book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18, there as well. But yeah, the new book's coming out. And if you are a Kindle reader, get it while the price is super cheap. Okay. I did the same thing for my first book. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the topic, guys. So let's talk about B-type goals. B-type goals are goals. They're goals that are achievable if certain conditions are met, right? You know that if you do A plus B plus C, you'll achieve this goal, right? One of the things last night during Charlie Collins show, Brother Omega had he wanted to do something about his career, right? He had a career question. He knows what he needs to do. He knows exactly what he needs to do. So we just had to lay out, okay, this is how you do it, right? That's a B-type goal. Like, you know, it's achievable if you do these things, you know? So in application, right? Don't just rely on external factors like your girl's mood or situation to create intimacy. Okay. You got to realize that the work never stops. The game never stops. You always have to have your head on a swivel. You always have to be lovingly detached enough that you can keep an eye on your girl's attraction level so that you can navigate accordingly, right? If you guys read How to Be a 3% Man by Corey Wayne, he talks about your girl's attractive level towards you, right? It's a scale of 1 to 10 or 0 to 10. Anything below a 5, your girl, she's not interested. A girl's not interested, right? And what you want to try to do is keep your girl at a 9 or a 10, right? Because 9 or a 10 is where she's madly in love with you. Okay. He actually got that from a guy named Doc Love. In Doc Love's book, The System, he had a scale too, but it was a scale of 0 to 100%. It's the same thing, right? Corey just changed the math on it. But if the goal is to keep your girl at a 9 or a 10, and you can watch what she's doing and seeing how she's responding, right? Because we don't listen to what women say. We watch what they do. Nurse Chick says she's at a level 27. It's because of the shirt, though. It's because of the shirt. Anyway. So the work never stops, right? You always have to keep your head on a swivel. Now, Athol Kay, in his book, The Married Man's Sex Life Primer, he does talk about ovulation game. But even then, it was how to apply the game throughout the entire cycle, right? Not just when she was ovulating and being horny. You know what I mean? He was talking about how during her menstruation time, you need to sprinkle a little more beta on it. You got to be a little more I would say emotionally empathetic during that time. You got to apply more beta comfort because she's not feeling very good. You see what I'm saying? So if you read that chapter of his book, he breaks down the ovulation game, but it's through the whole month. He's applying game the whole month. He's not just waiting until she wants to bang, right? You also don't wait for your girl to change. Don't wait for your girl to change, right? Start focusing on your actions and your attractiveness. Okay. This is the biggest mistake men do when trying this stuff out, right? They're thinking linearly. They're thinking, if I do A, then she'll do B, which will lead to sex. Okay. They're thinking that restoring that intimacy or getting their girl in bed is a B type goal, because they're like, okay, if I do A and B and C, she'll want this, and then she'll do this, right? Your girl isn't a fucking math problem to figure out, okay? You'll end up doing all this stuff in an attempt to make her change, right? A lot of guys start applying the map stuff. They read Ryan's book on dread. They start applying the dread game stuff because they're trying to do dread in order to get her to do something, right? They're trying to get her to change. You'll end up doing all this stuff to try to make her change, which is just one big covert contract. It's one big covert contract. If you guys have ever read No More Mr. Nice Guy, you'll understand the concept of covert contracts, right? Which is where if I do this, she'll do this for me. You know, any type of thing where you have a, if I do this, they'll do this for me kind of mentality, that's a covert contract, right? It means like you're expecting something from her and she doesn't know what she's supposed to be doing. You haven't told her that. You're just expecting her to read your mind, right? It's one of the reasons why I don't like focusing on attachment styles, right? I don't like the concept of attachment theory or attachment styles when applied to adults and adult relationships. Because guys, what they end up doing is they try to analyze their girl's attachment style, and they do the A plus B equals sex type stuff in a failing effort to try to get her to do something, right? Good friend of mine, he's a breakup coach, and he does teach guys attachment styles. And he's like, look, if your girl's an avoidant attachment, then in order to get her back, you have to understand this and this and this about her. And it's all just, I'm doing all this stuff to try to get her to come back into my life type stuff. It's a big fucking covert contract. So anyway, knock it off, guys. What you need to do is you need to focus on you. Okay. You're fixing you. Be attractive. Don't be unattractive. The stay plan is the same as the go plan. Look, I'm just throwing out all the red pill maxims here, right? Stay plan is the same as the go plan. She either gets on board or you're in a better position for your next relationship. Okay. Now, C-type goals. C-type goals are things you have no idea how to achieve. But if you truly desire them, a way will be shown to you. Okay. Now we're getting into the woo-woo. This is the real law of attraction stuff. This is the concept that the how is not your job. Okay. It's the universe's job. All you need is to desire. All you need is the desire and the will to do it and a strong belief and faith that you'll have it. Right. I believe this. I believe this. It's going to happen. This is going to happen. So an application, right? So accept that you may not know exactly how you're going to get your girl to fuck you again, but focus on the deep desire to at least increase your own sexual market value. Okay. Like Athol K says in Married Man Sex Life Primer, I can guarantee you'll end up in a loving relationship. I just can't guarantee it will be with your wife. But Paul, I want my wife and I want to restore intimacy with her. The law of attraction doesn't work that way, brother. If you ever read The Science of Getting Rich, which if you guys are members, you guys can go back and go to my YouTube playlist page. Go to the playlist page. You'll find the Science of Getting Rich series. I break down that entire book. Okay. It actually wasn't as popular as my book of book series has been, but if you go back and read that book or go back and at least watch that series, you'll get a lot of value out of that series. Okay. In The Science of Getting Rich, Wallace D. Waddell says that you can't mentally force people to do something they don't want to do. It violates the law of free will. Okay. So all you could do is focus your thoughts and actions on being more attractive, being less unattractive, increasing your sexual market value. Okay. And that people of like frequencies will be attracted to you by law. Okay. It's impossible. Okay. Now let me change this. Now, it's possible that your wife or girlfriend starts seeing all the stuff you're doing and decides to start putting in effort again. Sure. In fact, it's highly probable. Okay. It's highly probable. It happens a lot. Which is why we know all this red pill stuff does typically work, because we've had guys for over 20 years swapping notes in forums, applying this stuff, and they fixed relationships with this stuff. Okay. So we know it works, but sometimes it doesn't, right? Sometimes your girl doesn't come on board. But if she does, right? If it starts working, she starts putting in that effort again, one might say that she got on your frequency. You understand? But like Ryan Stone says in Dread, sometimes she's just a shitty wife. Okay. If your girl is anxious avoidant type person and she's totally withdrawn from you and all this stuff, that's her problem. Okay. You can't fix that. And I would venture to say, stay away from people like that. Okay. There's much better people out there that want to put in that effort, right? That have a secure attached style. Attract those people. Okay. But like attracts like in the law of the universe, right? So you have to become securely attached with yourself too. And you can have anything you want in this world, but you must first become the kind of guy that would attract those things. Okay. So you have to become a secure attached guy. You got to focus on becoming that guy. You can't worry about what fuck attachment style she's got, right? So it's all bullshit. It's all a fucking cope. So yeah, sometimes she's just a shitty wife. So let's see here. What do I have here? So sometimes I write things down in the moment and then I go back and read it. I'm like, what did I say here? So with all this work, she might not come on board, and that's okay, because you'll attract someone much better, right? Imagine doing all this work. I'm sorry. Imagine not doing all this work. Okay. Imagine not doing all this work, divorcing your wife, and now you're back on the dating circuit as a fat, out of shape, unattractive man with no frame and game. How do you think that works out for you? Right? Maybe you find some six who settles for you, but then in a few years, when you don't work on your unattractive behavior, you'll find yourself back in a dead bedroom again, watching MGTOW videos about how women suck, right? So which is the better plan? You start working on your attractiveness now, maybe even save your current relationship. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, great, because now you're ready to go back on the dating circuit, and now you have better frame, better game, probably some more muscles, maybe more money. I don't know, but money is the beta side of hypergamy anyway. What's the better plan? You can't lose with this plan, okay? So then you also want to visualize what it will be like when you've gotten back into shape, right? You start hitting the gym again, you're looking better. Waitresses are making eye contact a little bit longer than usual. You learn how to handle shit tests like a boss. Like, you imagine this like as if it's already happened, okay? It's already happened. You no longer argue with your wife because your frame is strong and the little things that used to annoy you don't anymore. And when she's being a little bitchy, you just chuckle because she's cute. When she's mad, and you slap her on the ass. Like, visualize this stuff, okay? Visualize this stuff. Because the more you visualize it, the more it becomes real in your mind. The more it becomes real in your subconscious mind, the more you'll start acting this way. You understand? It's not fucking magic. And you want to embrace the uncertainty of how it will happen, but commit to learning and growing through the process, right? You got to have faith that it's going to work. Okay. And it will work. It'll either work with your current wife, or it'll work with your next girl. Okay. It's going to work though. So you got to have faith in the process. And the cool thing about this whole process and C-type goals is that a way will be shown to you. Okay. It's like a car driving down the road at night. Maybe you'll get the idea to tune into this particular episode of the podcast, and something will click with you. Okay. You go, oh, I never thought about that way before. Right. Well, you attracted this episode. You attracted this episode. You see that? But Paul, that's not true. I've been tuning into all your episodes. But how did you find the first one? Oh, snap. Noodle baking time. All right. Oh, look, brother David sent a $10 super chat. He goes, level yourself up to give her the spark. I agree with that. And you get the thing. Super chat will see you there. Shake it, dance without a care. Send it love from everywhere. Groovy beats we all can share. Your support is so divine. Moving closer to the line. Thank you, you're the best. Party on, we never rest. Kamal says, but Paul, I'm a lovingly detached attachment style. Yeah, there we go. That's not an official attachment style though. But I like that. I'm gonna steal that. I'm a lovingly detached. All right. Guys, join the beer club. Most of these guys are in the beer club too, and you guys can chat with them directly. Beer.comeonmanpod.com. It's a great group for guys. Great place to swap notes. I'm not, for my one-on-one coaching, I'm not necessarily doing dating advice anymore. I'm not doing the dating one-on-one coaching. I do have a course though. If you want to go to dates.comeonmanpod.com, that breaks down how to improve your online dating game. But if you want access to me to ask questions about dating, I am in the beer club very regularly, pretty much daily. And also a bunch of other guys that are out there dating. You can swap notes with them directly, right? If you guys are having relationship issues, this is a good place to swap notes too. Brother David in the chat, like we talked about last night on the members only stream, he's been running the MAP program for a while. And his relationship has just been completely turning around, right? His girl is starting to put in way more effort. And he's like, it hasn't been like this in a long time. So beer club's a great place. You can swap notes with Brother David in there. And that's only $10 a month. Okay. And I never want to raise prices on that because it's accessible to the everyman, right? All right. Oh, and we also get together once or twice a month and over a video call and just have drinks and talk about guy stuff. All right, guys. The next concept is your want comes from the essence of who you are, the perfection that is within us. Man, that morning phlegm. Okay. So Wallace D. Wattles in The Science of Getting Rich, again, go back and check out that series. He says that the drive to do something is the universe seeking to express itself through you. So you got to ask yourself why you really want to fix the dead bedroom, right? Why do I want to fix this? You want to reflect on why sex with your girl matters to you at a deeper level, right? We all know that sex is the glue that keeps the relationship together. Right? We all know that without sex, you're basically glorified roommates. That's one thing. But why with her? Why is it so important with her? Right? Emotional connection. You still love her. Maybe vows still mean something to you. You don't want to throw away 10, 15, 20 years, good years. She's your best friend. Honestly, you think that you in your mind, picturing your girl as your best friend is probably the biggest attraction killer. Most guys don't want to hear that. A lot of blue pill guys don't want to hear that, right? But if you treat your girl like she's your best friend, she's going to put you in the fucking friend zone. It's the same thing when you're out dating. If you treat a girl like a friend, she's got no choice but to friend zone you, right? But the girls that you actually get with is because you made a move on them. Right? You seduce them. You show them, I'm not your friend. We're lovers. Right? So you want to get to a place where your girl's not your best friend, but your lover again. Right? But think about that stuff. Why do you want to do this? And I would guarantee you that's what you want. You don't want her to be your best friend. You want her to be your lover. Right? She used to be. So you want to align your actions with your core beliefs about love, connection, and growth to make yourself the attractive man she married in the first place. And you want to hold that picture in your mind. That's the next concept, right? Hold that picture in your mind. So you want to create a clear mental image of what intimacy with your girl looks like and focus on it regularly, okay? You want to visualize the mind-blowing sex you want to have with her. Imagine yourself in situations where you and her are really emotionally connected, having a good time together again, maybe even enjoying each other's company. Can you imagine enjoying your girl's company again? Imagine how she looks at you with those come fuck me eyes because she genuinely sees you as her best possible option again. What would that look like? Paul, are you mixing woo-woo with hypergamy? Yes. Yes, this is Woo-Woo Wednesday. This one's an interesting one. You want to stay emotionally involved with the goal. Now, this can screw guys up. Right. So the reason Bob Proctor adds this in his chapter of being emotionally involved is that what we're doing here, the whole thing we're doing, even though it's Woo Woo Wednesday, the whole thing we're doing is reprogramming our paradigm, our subconscious. Okay. We need to program our minds to be attractive chads, right? We got to be the attractive chad in our relationship. So we're reprogramming our paradigm with stuff. And what solidifies an idea in the subconscious is an emotional attachment to the idea. Okay. Not an emotional attachment to your wife, but the emotional attachment to the idea itself. Okay. The two most powerful emotions to attach to an idea to attract what you want is gratitude and love. Okay. Now, Bob Proctor recommends. Now, this is one thing that I highly recommend. If you guys get my new book, again, that's coming out. Where is this at? It's coming out on the 14th. Okay. But it's the essential skills of a masculine presence psychology paradigm. If you go to books.comeonmanpod.com, you can pre-order it on Kindle now. But I talk a lot about the power of affirmations, and I show you how to actually write these affirmations. That allows you to hold that picture in your mind. When you practice this regularly, it allows you to hold this picture in your mind. Okay, it helps you with that. We'll talk about that a little bit more here, but what he recommends when writing out your goals and your affirmations is to start it with, I'm so happy and grateful now that, so that you're applying that emotional attachment to the idea. Okay. So for example, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am fit and attractive. I am confident. I lead my relationship effortlessly. I am unaffected by my wife's emotions, right? Those are some examples. Notice how your affirmations aren't about what she's doing. It's about what you're doing. Okay. Because again, going back to what Waddle says, you can't emotionally compel, or I'm sorry, you can't mentally compel someone to do something. It goes against the laws of the universe. She has free will. Okay. All you can do is focus on what you're doing. And if you reprogram your mind to being fit and attractive, confident, leading your relationship effortlessly, being unaffected by your girl's emotions. Okay. And you say it in the present tense, I am fit and attractive. I am confident. I lead my relationship effortlessly. I am unaffected by my wife's emotions. You understand? You'll start acting that way. Okay. Now you can also shorten it too, right? So he says, I'm so happy and grateful now that for years I've been doing this. I shortened it to I'm grateful for, right? I am so grateful for, right? It doesn't matter, but you can shorten it. Paul, did you trick us? Paul, did you trick us in Beer Club to do the woo-woo thing with the gratitude group? Well, technically, no. That was John's idea. That was Brother John's idea. He's the one that created the gratitude group. But actually, that's why gratitude practice helps with that, because it gets you in the mindset of gratitude, right? And all that emotionally attached stuff, getting to the attitude of gratitude gets you in the right vibrations to attract what you want. Okay. So you want to make sure you're emotionally committed to restoring intimacy, not just going through the motions, right? So you want to engage your emotions when you think about your girl, right? Focus on feeling of love, compassion, and connection, right? So imagine this. How much differently would you look at your wife or girlfriend if you looked at her with compassion and love instead of with annoyance? How much differently would you act around her? My dad sent me this message 2 days ago. What is it's fucking hilarious too. Let me see if I can find it. My dad is nothing but annoyed with my mom, right? And he's been like this for years. He says, let's see here. Topic for your podcast. Can women do anything without talking? Right? How would you act around your girl if you have that attitude versus an attitude of looking at her like with compassion and love, right? Oh, she's talking, she's being a whammon, she's blah, blah, blahing and stuff like that. If you looked at her like, women are so goofy, I love them, right? If you looked at them like that, how would your actions be different than when you look at her like, God, why don't you shut the fuck up? God, women, all they do is run their mouths, right? How much differently do you think you would act? What kind of energy would you be putting out there if you looked at her in a more positive light? Think about that for a minute, okay? if you had some of that tactical empathy that Paul Benjamin talks about, you wouldn't get annoyed with her. You wouldn't get annoyed by her mood swings or her other whammon tendencies. Okay. You'd smirk. You'd find them endearing a little bit, maybe even cute. Probably the same way you did when you first met her. You ever notice how when you get to a new relationship, you overlook a girl's red flags because you're so madly in love with her? You don't give a fuck. That's how most of us end up in bad relationships, right? But you're so involved in this idea of her and being in love, and you're so Twitter-pated, you overlook all that shit, right? But once you're with her for a while, now you start getting annoyed by that stuff. All right. Most of the stuff that she's doing isn't even a big deal. In fact, it's kind of cute. It's fucking hilarious. Women are like the most responsible teenager in the house. And if you look at them that way and sort of chuckle, right? Think about it like when you're an adult and then you have a niece, right? You have a niece. She's like 3 years old and she walks up and calls you a poopy head. Do you lose your shit at her? Do you look at her like you're so fucking annoyed by this little 3-year-old? Or do you go, you're so cute, and you rub her on the head and stuff like that? It's a different mindset. So you got to look at her whammon tendencies like that. And if you look at her like that, you're going to act differently. Okay. Mentally focus on that. Okay. If you looked at her like you actually loved her, you would treat her differently, right? You would act differently. Now, here's where guys can get into trouble with this, being emotionally involved with the goal, because you want to avoid being too needy and clingy. Okay. A lot of guys in this process fall for the myth of action. And when their girl starts pulling away, they think if they can just do something, they can just say something, they can fix it, right? If I just communicate more, right? Communication is the key to a healthy relationship. Bullshit. It's not. Okay. It's not. You got to trust that attraction grows in space. All right. So chasing her and not giving her space will make her feel more claustrophobic in the relationship. Okay. It actually kills attraction. You'll look like an insecure little bitch, which will erode attraction even more. You're acting unattractive. You're being unattractive. Okay. So while you want to, be emotionally involved in the idea, like I say, it's more important to be more emotionally involved with the idea of increasing your sexual market value than it is to be emotionally involved with trying to fix your girl or fix the relationship. Okay. Because you need to stay lovingly detached during all of this. All right. And you want to avoid resentment. You want to avoid resentment. You want to ensure that every action you take to restore intimacy is fueled by positive intentions. Okay. We're going to be talking about this more on Friday, but Wayne Dyer says there are no justified resentments. Okay. And you got to understand that holding on to resentments only hurts you anyway. It legit impacts your whole physiology. So let them go. Let go of those resentments. All right. The next concept is act as if you've already achieved the goal, right? Start acting like the man you want to be now, right? Don't wait until you've lost 20 pounds. Your girl has seen you at your worst already, okay? What she hasn't seen from you in a while is a man who walks around like he's king shit and full of confidence, right? She hasn't seen you be very decisive. She hasn't seen you set and enforce boundaries. She hasn't had you tell her no. Start doing all of that shit right now. Okay. Act as if you've already got it figured out. Because what you're going to do is, as you're acting like this guy, it's going to build up new habits. Okay. And then that's going to be how you act normally. Right. But you got to first build up the habit. You have to behave as though the sex has already been restored, right? The sexual attraction has already been restored. You want to do that because that's going to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay. So you're going to want to start treating your girl with affection, patience, and attentiveness you would as if, intimacy was already thriving, right? You want to start to keno escalate with her at random times in the day. Okay. Don't just wait for bedtime, scheduled sex night on Tuesdays. While she's cooking, walk up behind her, grab her around the waist and kiss her on the neck. Right? If she gets grumpy and she rejects you, just chuckle and play it off like it's a shit test and then go to the gym like nothing happened. Be like, okay, hon. All right. Well, I'm going to go hit the gym, but I'll see you in an hour or so. Okay. Act like it's no big deal. She'll start seeing this change in you and start wondering what's up. All right. But you want to keep her guessing. You don't want to tell her what you're doing. Well, I tuned into Paul's podcast and he says, if I don't do that. Okay. You want to focus on expressing gratitude and appreciation for the relationship as if the connection's already been deepened. Okay. The next concept is you attract what you focus on, either if it's feared or revered. Okay. Andrew Carnegie says that in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, right? Whatever you focus on, whether feared or revered, you're going to attract it. So you want to focus on the positive because you want to attract the positive. Okay. So you want to focus on positive thoughts about your relationship rather than worrying about failure or rejection. Stop focusing on divorce or you're going to end up divorced. Okay. If you focus on, I don't want to get divorced, all your subconscious mind hears is divorce. Right. Why are you doing this? I don't want to get divorced. That's all your mind hears, divorce, and you're going to end up divorced. Okay. Don't focus on divorce. Instead, stay focused on being attractive and less unattractive. Okay. Focus on, I'm the most attractive man in Colorado, right? Or wherever you're at. Believe that it will, and your actions will follow that belief, right? Replace negative self-talk or doubts about intimacy with affirmations of love, connection, and mind-blowing sex. And then the last concept here, we have seek first the kingdom and everything else will follow. Now, in the chapter, seek first the kingdom means to focus on what truly matters, the core essence of your desires, right? And trust that everything else will align naturally. When applied to relationships, this means concentrating on the foundational aspects that make you more attractive and desirable. Okay. So to fix the dead bedroom, we want to prioritize becoming the most attractive versions of ourselves, both physically and mentally. Right. So you want to enhance your physical appeal, focus on improving your physical fitness, grooming, overall appearance. This will boost your confidence and naturally make you more appealing. Okay. You want to exhibit on dominant masculine behavior. Take the lead in the relationship, set the tone, be decisive, take charge of situations. Women are often attracted to men that confidently guide the relationship. But my wife won't let me lead. If she's letting you do anything, who's really leading? Think about that. Who's really leading? You let her get in the driver's seat. And now she doesn't trust you to ever drive again. You got to fix that. Okay. You want to show strength and stability. Instead of being overly vulnerable, display emotional strength and stability. This builds trust and respect, making you more attractive and ensuring that intimacy follows naturally. You guys understand attraction is not a choice, right? Love is a choice, right? She could choose to love you or not, but she can't choose what she's attracted to. Okay. And if you want to restore that sexual attraction, you gotta work on that because attraction is not a choice. Okay. Oh shit. We got a super chat here. Red Tiger with $8 super chat, coming in late and can't stay. Catch you on the replay, just showing support. Well, thank you, man. I will give you this one.
I was just going to say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
Oh, you know what? Let me give you this one because it is Woo Woo Wednesday. Magic. Yeah, you got two of them today, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. Hey, Viking Paradigms in the house. What's up, brother? All right. So that's what we got today for Woo Woo Wednesday. Paul, it wasn't very woo-woo. It was very practical. I know. I tricked you. Anyway, I hope you guys got some value out of it, though, okay? Because it's some useful information. A lot of guys, they are struggling in relationships, and we do want to help turn that stuff around, right? If we can. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Your girl gets on board or she doesn't. But if you do this and you apply this, and this becomes a part of who you are, your next relationship is going to be phenomenal. And then you're going to be able to confidently lead that relationship. And as long as you stay on this type of topic, right? Read the books more than just 10 to 15 times. I talk about it in my new book. And again, guys, if you didn't know, the new book's coming out on the 14th. Boop, right there, right? But on the psychology paradigm one, this one is a book that I recommend you guys read 10 to 15 times and revisit it, okay? Because if you read this on repeat, it really will help you reprogram your paradigm. Okay, because the stuff I have in this book it's really actionable information. My first book was pretty autobiographical, which when I talked to Ryan Stone, he goes, all of our books are pretty much, the first book's autobiographical. And then the next book is something useful, which my first book is useful too, but this one's really going to help you figure some shit out. All right. So check that out. Books.comeonmanpod.com. You can pre-order it for 99 cents on Kindle. All right, guys, tune into the podcast on Friday. It will be Frame Friday. We're going to be going through Wayne Dyer's 10 Principles of Intention and Success, 10 Principles of Intention and Success, and apply it to our mental frame. Because you want to remember that frame is everything. Okay. And if you're in a dead bedroom, then you could probably use some help with that. Okay. I mentioned it on Monday's episode, but there was a guy on Facebook yesterday, and it's just so funny how he said this, but he's like, oh, my wife brought me peace because she was out with her relatives all weekend. And he was like, now that she's back, we're arguing. Well, if you're arguing with your wife all the time, you have no frame. You have no frame. You got to work on that, brother. Okay. Because once you have good frame, there's nothing your girl could say that will really make you want to argue with her. Okay. All right. That's all I got, guys. Be sure to tune in Friday. Other than that, do like, subscribe, hit those notifications. I do have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thanks for everyone that sounded off in the comments. That helps boost us in the algorithm. It's also just fun interacting with you guys. Thanks for the super chats. That really helps support the show, probably more than anything else. Another way to help the show, become a YouTube member or subscribe on Spotify if you prefer to listen to these like in your car and stuff like that on Spotify. Become a subscriber and then you get access to all the old episodes. But if you're a YouTube member, you also get a free audiobook version of the Book of Puck, and you also get access to the live streams, the call-in live streams on Tuesdays. So if you guys have any kind of dating, relationship, or any kind of life coaching questions in general, I am a certified master life coach. So tune into those on Tuesdays, and there's going to be a link in the comments. Only members can see it. Only members can see the chat. And you can click on that link and join the show, and we can talk about stuff. If you want to remain anonymous, keep your camera off. That's fine. No one has to know who you are. Okay. We can talk on those shows. And that's only $2.99 a month to become a member or a subscriber. Okay. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com. I'll send you a bunch of free stickers. You also, if you guys are still out dating, you get 20 dating app openers that are guaranteed to capture a woman's attention in the first 7 words. I've got to have something. I'm going to have something soon for guys with more relationship-minded stuff. The dating app stuff will still be there, but if you're more relationship-minded, I'll have something pretty soon for that. But you also get a free chapter of my book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18, which is available on Amazon right now. It's also available on on Audible. And then my new book, Essential Skills of a Masculine Presence, Psychology Paradigm, is coming out on September 14th. You can find both of those at books.comeonmanpod.com. Guys, join the beer club, beer.comeonmanpod.com. It's the best place on the internet right now to swap notes about all this kind of stuff. Okay. And it's only for men. Men come in there. We talk about men's stuff. You don't have to worry about filtering yourself for the women. Women aren't invited. And then we get together once or twice a month over drinks, and if you don't drink alcohol, that's fine. It's just called Beer Club. We don't actually, most of us don't even drink beer. I'm on keto. I can't drink beer. That's terrible. But But it's just called Beer Club because, guys used to get together over beers and talk about guy shit, and guys don't do that anymore. A lot of guys isolate themselves. They're lone wolves, and then their mental health is fucked up. Right? You need it. You need a group of boys. You need a tribe. You need a brotherhood. Okay. Join that. It's only $10 a month. That's all I got. Any more super chats? No, I don't see any more super chats. We will see you guys on Friday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.